Hi, thanks for watching. Here's our process for how we built this Telecaster. Started over on the Shopsmith jointer, got one edge ready for the glue up, and then over to the planer, where we didn't have to reduce much thickness but wanted a nice flat surface to run through the table saw using that jointed reference edge and get it down to size, so that when we applied our tight bond and put it in the clamps, we had a really good square gluing surface. Using the pattern for the vintage guitar we'd already made, we traced out the shape and then took it over to the Shopsmith bandsaw to rough out the shape. Then used the same pattern and a palm router to trace down the shape, and then over to the router table to finish off to get the full thickness. And over to the oscillating spindle sander to get some of those rough edges smoothed out. Applied the template again to trace out the details. And now we're going to start hogging out the cavities for the controls and the pickups with the Shopsmith drill press before applying that template again and using my brand new DeWalt plunge router to take all these cavities to their final shape and depth. Learning from the first guitar we built, we knew we wanted to add some access for the truss rod controls, so chiseling out just an extra little spot here so that we can get from the pickup cavity to the neck cavity with an adjustment wrench. This was a great opportunity to practice my hand chiseling skills and use this new little hand plane to flatten out the bottom of the cavity. And with this last step of drilling out the holes for the control wires, I'm pretty much done with the body, and I'm going to head over to start finishing it. Now I'm planning to finish this guitar body with an oil-based system that I've never quite done before. So the first step was a grain filler, which sanded back, and now I'm hitting it with a coat of a pre-stain, which I'm wiping off. It's looking really good, and I'm almost thinking about leaving it this way now.
Wow.
Hey, Callie.
Wow.
Just a gentle sanding back with some 220, and now I'm hitting it with my stain. Was a little surprised by how thick and transparent this was, so we immediately went from this brush on to a wipe off. And while we knew we wanted orange, this was really, really orange. So off camera, this actually got sanded back completely, and which left a lot of nice orange in the grain that you can't really see. And then we started coating that with this next coat, this next layer of espresso stain, so that you could really kind of feel the orange punching through that darker color. But we left the orange on the edges kind of like a binding. So what we're going for is kind of a hand-rubbed, oil-stained sunburst type of look. So we're adding more of the Fiesta orange in the middle as we darken the outer edge with both a coffee and espresso colored stains. Definitely a little bit of a labor of love to keep making sure the nice orange edge binding was good and to get the coffee and the orange blended nicely. This guitar was intended as a Christmas present, and we didn't have much time, so went ahead and bought a genuine Fender neck, and we still needed to prepare the neck to receive the tuning machines. I got a Stu Mac Relic Telecaster hardware set. That really simplified the build since it included pretty much everything except these vintage tuning machines that I picked up online. We had just a little bit of more work now that the body had completely dried to do just a little bit of final blending. And here's the test fit on the neck. Nice, that fit good. And you can see how that extra little pocket for truss rod access works. So we're laying out the bridge. After carefully marking all the hole locations, I used a Milescraft drill press to pilot holes through the face, and then switched over to the drill press and this little handy jig, using that pin in each of those pilot holes to get a perfect alignment on all the string ferrules. Then I had to pump up the size of the holes to get perfect hole and depth to actually recess these string ferrules. Back on the bench, I added pilot holes for all of the pick guard and control plate holes. The neck mounting holes didn't perfectly match our template, so we filled those and then drilled through the back of the body using our cover plate as a template.
This is pretty handy.
This back on. We have the neck clamped on and a couple of strings so that we can get the alignment just right before we screw it on.
You can see how at these last frets, if I move the neck a little bit this way, it would often catch on that fret, but maybe we need to angle the neck this way a little bit so that it doesn't, but we just got to find that right balance in between.
Right down the middle. Not a lot of play.
And there's a measurement I'll look up in a second for what it's supposed to be.
We've used those holes in the body to align the neck, and it's ready to attach. So now we're just going to drill out the holes in the body just a little bit more because we want the screws to slip in the body and attach on the neck rather than actually screwing to the body. So now you can see the screw just slipping freely. And then we can attach the neck permanently. In case you're wondering about us using a drill for attaching the neck, we are setting it to a very low torque and using that to ensure that we don't strip these and that we get the same amount of tightness on every screw. The next step is kind of self-explanatory, but it is a little bit of a work of art to get all these tiny pieces of foil sticky shielding into all of the compartments. Kind of rewarding because this is really starting to come together, and we can really tell we're going to be playing this in a few minutes. Definitely want to minimize any chances of buzz, so the more foil we can get in here before we put in the controls, the better it's going to sound. All right, that's the last piece of foil, and we can start putting in the hardware. There's the bridge pickup, the neck pickup, and string those wires through all the holes we pre-drilled. Oops, looks like we missed a couple spots of foil. Nothing like thinking you're done to make you have to go back and find a missing spot. Really like this StewMac hardware set. It came with minimal work required to get all the connections and everything made, and it really made finishing off this guitar really easy. The pickups come designed to be mounted to the body, but we're finding we like mounting them to the pick guard. So just a couple of quick modifications to the pickup hole size and the pick guard, and we can mount the pickups through the face of the pick guard and into the pick guard. See how I messed up doing that? I never do that with a drill. I more often mess up with a handheld screwdriver than I do with a drill. I don't know why. Oh, for this purple, right? Wait, were they longer? Now when it comes to the controls, I know you can get the control sets completely pre-wired, no work at all, and you can get them completely undone where you have to do everything. I really like this stage where there's a certain amount of connections pre-made, but we still need to do a little soldering. That helps us feel like we've got the best possible connections. And it ensures that, we really understand and know what we're doing for these controls and this guitar's expectations. Oof, talk about something you can argue about. String trees come with a lot of dialogue. Personally, I like the way they look, and I'm going with the argument that getting that breaking angle the same helps the sound. And now watch your cup.
Oh my goodness.
It's empty. Oh wow.
It's not shiny yet either.
I can't believe it.
That sounds so cool.
That is amazing. And this is what you've been working on, just talking about it and walking back and forth.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have no words.
Isn't it pretty?
Yeah, it's amazing.
You like orange, right?
I do.
And the color of the brown is coffee and espresso.
Coffee and espresso,
Wow.
brown stain, and fiesta orange.
Oh.
I was just today thinking, man, someday I'm going to save up some money and have you guys build me one and have Andrew set it up for me.
Well, that was a good thought. Yeah, it's not set up.
All right. That was a good segue to it's time to set these up. That means some customized nut adjustments, adjusting the intonation and the action, and then some testing. Playing this through our 25-year-old crate amp with no effects directly to the phone audio. Okay, sound effects. We are playing with the chorus button on the amp.
Kind of the full range.
Yeah.
From neck pickup rolled off to bridge pickup all the way through. It's kind of misleading with the chorus.
The frets are gold.
Now
Bye.